compare the heavy rainfall events during past 5 years, we will find that the most frequent heavy rainfall event occurred in 2021 in the month of May, with 758 heavy rainfall events, 201 very heavy rainfall events, and 42 extremely heavy rainfall events. But this year, the heavy rainfall events were 504. It was second to 2021. But the very heavy rainfall events were quite less. It was 95, and extreme heavy rainfall events have been 23. And these extreme heavy rainfall events have been mainly confined to northeastern states. As all of us know, there was a flooding in Assam and adjoining areas, and because of this continuous heavy rainfall activity. Now, if I compare the rainfall forecast, what we issued for the month of May and what has happened in the month of May, on the left-hand side diagram, you will find that this is the observed rainfall for the month of May. You will find that this blue is the above normal, green is normal, and orange is the below normal rainfall activity which has been realized. On the right-hand side is the forecast map, what we issued that again blue is the excess, that is above normal, green is the normal, and orange is the below normal. What you find that both the figures are almost reasonably identical with each other. That means the major part of the country got rainfall activity as it was predicted, except Northwest India. And Northwest India was the below normal rainfall as it was predicted. Similarly, if I just look at the temperature forecast, we predicted on the right-hand side is the temperature forecast issued for the month of May. On the left-hand side is the actual observed maximum temperature in the month of May. Again, here also the orange indicates above normal rainfall, and green indicates normal not rainfall, temperature. Orange indicates above normal temperature, green indicates normal temperature, and blue indicates below normal temperature. Accordingly, here in the right-hand side also, below normal means it is gray and blue, and orange means above normal, and green means normal temperature. So what you find that the maximum temperature prediction also went very well, reasonably correct. And as predicted, Northwest India was higher than normal maximum temperature, leading to heat wave conditions. And that continued up to about 15th of May. And thereafter, because of thunderstorm activities, the temperature went normal or below normal in the month. Similarly, if we just look at the minimum temperature in the month of May, we predicted because warm night is a point of concern for the Northwest India where heat wave condition prevails. So we also predict therefore the minimum temperature. The minimum temperature outlook which was issued is given in the right-hand side here, and actual minimum temperature is given on the left-hand side. Here also you will find that the major part of the country which was predicted that will have the higher than normal temperature, minimum temperature, was realized. You can see that many parts with orange color. Orange color means it is above normal temperature, which was predicted like that. Also predicted South Peninsula will have the below normal minimum temperature, and same also happened if you compare both the diagrams. What I want to say that for the month of May, the forecast issued for rainfall, maximum temperature, and minimum temperature were to a large extent it was reasonably correct. Now coming to the progress of monsoon so far, the southwest monsoon has set in over Kerala on 29th May 2022 against the normal date of 1st June. So that means 3 days ahead of the normal date, monsoon has entered into Kerala. And as per our forecast, it was 27th May, which was almost 4 days. Therefore, it could be predicted well. But after that, also it has progressed. And as of today, the monsoon has progressed into some parts of coastal and south interior Karnataka, and some more parts of Tamil Nadu and Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. So what we expect that the next 2 to 3 days, the southwest monsoon will progress further into some more parts of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and some parts of Konkan and Goa, and northeastern states, somewhere in West Bengal and Sikkim. Bay of Bengal current is active. We are expecting that northeastern states will be covered during these next 2 to 3 days. This green line indicates the actual date of progress of the monsoon, and red lines are the normal dates of progress of monsoon. So far, therefore, the peninsular India, it has been ahead of the normal dates. And we are expecting also that in the normal dates, around normal dates, it will cover the northeastern states. Now coming to the forecast part, yes, as all of you know that IMD has adopted a new strategy from last year. As for this strategy, we are issuing the fastest forecast in April, middle of April. And this year we issued the fastest forecast on 14th of April. And we predicted that rainfall will be normal over the country and it will be 99% of the long period average. It will be uniformly distributed, except some parts of northeastern states, northwest India, and extreme south peninsula. That was the forecast for the first stage. The second stage is the update of that forecast, which will be issued today. Along with that, we'll issue the forecast for 4 homogeneous regions like Northwest India, as shown in this diagram, Northwest India, Northeast India, Central India, and the Peninsular India. Another forecast today also will issue, that is the monsoon core zone. That is the area extending from Gujarat and Rajasthan to up to Odisha and to West Bengal. This area is mainly rain-fed agriculture area because it dependence on rainfall is more in this.
Sir, we can't hear you.
You're not audible, sir.
You're not audible, sir. Something happened. Some network issue, sir.
Can't hear you, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible, but not visible, sir.
Not visible.
Yeah.
No, slide is visible or not?
Slide is visible, you are audible, but you are not visible. That's all.
That is fine.
Okay,
That is
okay,
fine.
sir. Okay.
Okay. Fine. So I was discussing about the different stages of forecast, and today we are issuing the forecast, which is the update of the forecast issued on 14th of April. Also, we'll issue the forecast for 4 homogeneous regions like Northwest India, Northeast India, Central India, and Peninsular India, as shown in this diagram. Then also, we are issuing a forecast for monsoon core zone, which is really the rain-fed agriculture zone. That means in this area, the rainfall dependence is more for the agriculture. So a special forecast is being issued. And also we'll issue today the forecast for the month of June. And similarly afterwards in the month of, for the month of July, we'll issue by end of June and August like that. So every monthly forecast we're issuing, just like we've issued from last year onwards. So today we'll issue the June forecast. Now, coming to the silent feature of the forecast which are issuing today, the southwest monsoon seasonal rainfall June to September over the country as a whole is most likely to be normal, 96 to 100% of long period average. Quantitatively, the monsoon seasonal rainfall over the country as a whole is likely to be 103% of the long period average with a model error of plus minus 4%. The long period average of the seasonal rainfall over the country is 87 centimeter based on the new normal introduced, that is 1971 to 2020. So if you remember, we have predicted earlier that it will be 99% plus minus 5%. And now we have updated the forecast to 103% plus minus 4%. And monsoon seasonal rainfall over 4 homogeneous regions is most likely to be above normal for central India, that is greater than 106% of long period average. And South Peninsula also above normal, that is greater than 106% of long period average. Rainfall is most likely to be normal over Northeast India, that is 96 to 106% of long period average, and Northwest India, 92 to 108% of long period average. So monsoon seasonal rainfall over the monsoon core zone, that is rain-fed agriculture zone, is expected also to be above normal, that is more than 106% of the long period average. the large-scale feature when we consider the La Nina conditions are prevailing over equatorial Pacific Ocean, and we are expecting that La Nina condition will continue throughout the monsoon season this year. Now, at present, the neutral Indian Ocean dipole conditions are prevailing, but negative Indian Ocean dipole conditions are most probable during the monsoon season. Now, coming to the spatial distribution of the rainfall forecast update as it is issued today. So, we can find out in this diagram on the left-hand side that most parts of the country will have the blue color, light blue or deep blue or gray colors. And this indicates that above normal rainfall activity, and green patches indicates normal rainfall activity, and yellow and orange patches indicate the below normal rainfall activity. So what you find from this diagram, that most parts of the country will have a good rainfall activity, and accordingly the uniform distribution, you can say well distributed rainfall activity. That means you will have normal to above normal rainfall seasonally over northwest India, central India, northern parts of South Peninsula, and northern parts of east and northeast India. However, the below normal rainfall activity can be expected over southern parts of northeastern states, southern parts of eastern India, and east central India, some parts of east central India. Also, the southwestern peninsula, extreme southwest peninsula like Kerala, you can say. So if I consider the state-wise, you can find out that most of the states can have normal to above normal rainfall activity, except you can see the Meghalaya, and here Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur, and southern parts of Assam. Then here, Ganjati, West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh will have, to a large extent, we can have the below normal probability. Similar is the case with respect to Kerala. There can be certain isolated pockets over somewhere Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh. Otherwise, major part of the country will have normal to above normal rainfall activity. Now, if I just look at the forecast for month of June, in the month of June, we are expecting the average rainfall for the country as a whole to be normal. And here the normal is defined as 92% to 108% of the long period average. And the long period average rainfall for the country as a whole is 165.4 mm. That is based on data of 1971 to 2020. Now, if I just look at the spatial distribution of rainfall, again you find that major part of the country will have this blue or light blue or green colors. That means many parts of northwest and central India, northern parts of the peninsula, and some parts of eastern India will have the normal to above normal rainfall activity. But however, when we consider northeastern states, like say Assam, Meghalaya, and Nagaland, Manipur, and Arunachal Pradesh, South and West Bengal, and Ganjati, West Bengal, Jharkhand, and here southern parts of peninsula like Karnataka, Kerala, and South Tamil Nadu, as well as some parts of South Rajasthan and southern parts of Madhya Pradesh, there we can expect below normal rainfall activity. So, I'll just repeat that the major part of the country will have normal to above normal rainfall activity, except northeastern states, some parts of eastern India, and southwest peninsula. So here we can expect below normal rainfall activity. Now, if I consider the month of June, June is also a month where heat wave conditions usually prevail, especially over northern parts of the country. So we have the temperature forecast. If I look at the maximum temperature, what you find in this diagram, this is the maximum temperature forecast for the month of June. It indicates that most parts of the country will have the below normal probability of the maximum temperature. That means heat wave conditions are not so likely, or the frequency of heat wave conditions will be less than normal over the country during the month of June. Only the Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, and Himachal Pradesh, and some parts of Uttarakhand, where you will have above normal probability of temperature, and also some parts of Arunachal Pradesh. So therefore, the main heat core zone extending from Gujarat, Rajasthan to Odisha, that will have the below normal maximum temperature probability. Similarly, if I just look at the minimum temperature in the month of June, that is also indicating that major part of the country will have below normal temperatures. So it is and except the northwest India, you can say Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, and northern parts of Rajasthan. And here, many parts of northeastern states where temperature will be above normal in the month of June. अभी मैं आपको थोड़ा हिंदी में बताऊंगा कि आज का जो पूर्वानुमान है, पूरी देश में दक्षिण पश्चिम मानसून ऋतु जून से सितंबर वर्षा सामान्य दीर्घकालिक औसत का 96 से 104% होने की संभावना है। मात्रात्मक रूप से पूरे देश में मानसून ऋतुनिष्ठ वर्षा ±4% की मॉडल त्रुटि के साथ दीर्घावधि औसत का 103% होने का संभावना है। और 1971 से 2020 की अवधि के लिए पूरी देश में ऋतुनिष्ठ वर्षा का LPA 87 सेंटीमीटर है। 4 होमोजेनियस रीजन यानी सजातीय वर्षा क्षेत्र में दक्षिण पश्चिम मानसून ऋतुनिष्ठ वर्षा मध्य भारत में LPA का मोर देन 106% और दक्षिण प्रायद्वीप में LPA का मोर देन 106% के साथ सामान्य से अधिक होने का संभावना है। उत्तर पूर्व भारत में LPA का 96 से 106% और उत्तर पश्चिम भारत में LPA का 92 to 108% के साथ बारिश सामान्य रहने का संभावना है। यानी उत्तर पूर्व भारत और उत्तर पश्चिम भारत में सामान्य बारिश और दक्षिण प्रायद्वीप और मध्य भारत में सामान्य से अधिक बारिश होने का संभावना है। मानसून कोर जोन पर दक्षिण पश्चिम मानसून ऋतुनिष्ठ वर्षा, जिसमें देश की अधिकांश वर्षा आधारित कृषि क्षेत्र शामिल है, सामान्य से अधिक होने का संभावना है, यानी 106% से अधिक हो सकता है। अभी हम सीजनल रेनफॉल मानसून की बात करें तो मानसून मौसमी वर्षा के स्थानिक रूप से अच्छी तरह से वितरित होने की संभावना है। पूर्व मध्य, पूर्व उत्तर, पूर्व और चरम दक्षिण पश्चिम प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के कुछ हिस्सों को छोड़कर जहां सामान्य से कम वर्षा होने की संभावना है, देश के बाकी हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक नहीं तो सामान्य वर्षा होने की उम्मीद है। जो व्हाइट पैचेस आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं वो क्लाइमेटोलॉजिकल प्रोबेबिलिटी है और जो येलो ऑरेंज दिखाई दे रहा है वो सभी बिलो नॉर्मल प्रोबेबिलिटी है और जो ब्लू, डीप ब्लू और ग्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है वो सामान्य और सामान्य से अधिक वर्षा होने का सूचना देता है। अभी जून की बात करें, जून में हमारा जो पूर्वानुमान है इसमें पूरी देश में 2022 की जून की औसत वर्षा सामान्य रहने की संभावना है और सामान्य के अर्थ होता है कि 1971 से 2020 का जो आंकड़ा है इसके आधार पर ये होता है 165.4 मिलीमीटर और स्पाशियल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन देखें तो स्थानिक वितरण से पता चलता है कि जून के दौरान उत्तर पश्चिम और मध्य भारत के कई हिस्सों, दक्षिण प्रायद्वीप के उत्तर हिस्सों और पूर्व भारत के कुछ हिस्सों में सामान्य या सामान्य से अधिक बारिश होने की संभावना है। पूर्वोत्तर भारत के कई हिस्सों, मध्य और पूर्व भारत के कुछ हिस्सों और दक्षिण प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के दक्षिण हिस्सों में सामान्य से कम बारिश होने की संभावना है। जैसे यहाँ आप दिखाई दे रहे हैं कि येलो ऑरेंज एरिया जो आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं वहां बिलो नॉर्मल प्रोबेबिलिटी की संभावना है और जहां ग्रीन, ब्लू और डीप ब्लू और लाइट ब्लू एरिया आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं वहां नॉर्मल यानी एबो नॉर्मल बारिश होने का संभावना है। टेम्परेचर की बात करें तो उत्तर पश्चिम भारत के कुछ हिस्सों को छोड़कर जहां सामान्य से अधिक तापमान की संभावना है, देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक तापमान होने का संभावना, सामान्य से अधिक तापमान सामान्य से नीचे रहने की संभावना है। यानी पूरी देश का बात करें तो सिर्फ नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया का कुछ हिस्सा जैसे जम्मू कश्मीर, लद्दाख और हिमाचल प्रदेश वगैरह उसमें और अरुणाचल प्रदेश कुछ हिस्सा में टेम्परेचर नॉर्मल से ज्यादा हो सकता है, नहीं तो सभी जगह में टेम्परेचर बिलो नॉर्मल रहेगा। और मिनिमम टेम्परेचर भी ऐसा ही है। नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स और जो नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया का कुछ हिस्सा है जैसे कि जम्मू कश्मीर, लद्दाख, हिमाचल प्रदेश, पंजाब, नॉर्दर्न पार्ट्स ऑफ राजस्थान, इसमें एबो नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर, मिनिमम टेम्परेचर रहने का संभावना है। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच। नाउ वी कैन गो फॉर any comments, suggestions or questions, please.
Sir, two questions.
सर अनिरुद्ध बोल रहा हूँ। अच्छा जी,
एक मिनट मैं थोड़ा ऑन शेयर कर रहा हूँ। अभी मेरा वीडियो आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है?
Hello sir, can you hear me? Jacob.
तो मेरा वीडियो आ रहा है?
आ रहे सर।
यस सर,
अभी आप प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं।
Sir, Jacob from the Hindu. Two questions, sir. One is, you have also mentioned that there are negative IOD conditions expected, during this monsoon months. So, wouldn't that be unhelpful for the monsoon? And can you explain why, it is increased from 99 to 103% as of LPA? So, with negative IOD conditions, how does it work? And second question, sir, is a little more local. Yesterday, we saw this severe thunderstorm in Delhi with wind speeds worth 100 kmph. So, was it? Did IMD's Doppler weather radars actually pick this up well in advance? And was it? Why didn't we get a more earlier warning regarding this? Thank you.
Thank you, Jakabji. I will address the first question. Yes, we have updated our forecast from 99% to 103%. It is mainly because all the favorable parameters based on our statistical models are also becoming more favorable for more rainfall activity. The dynamical models what we utilize, that is Monsoon Mission Climate Forecast System MMCFS of Minister of Earth Sciences, और जितना ग्लोबल मॉडल्स है तो सभी का जो हम आंकड़ा देखे हैं, सभी से जो हम लेकर एक मल्टी मॉडल एनसेम्बल फोरकास्ट सिस्टम डेवलप किए हैं, इसके जरिए ये जो पूर्वानुमान हम जारी किए हैं, सभी के आधार पर एक कंसेंसस है कि रेनफॉल नॉर्मल रहेगा, मगर 99 नहीं, 99 से ऊपर रह सकता है, इसलिए हम इसको अपडेट किए हैं 103%। जब तक लार्ज स्केल फीचर्स की बात किया जाए, यस, लानिना कंडीशंस जैसे आप बात करे होंगे, पहले जो मॉडल्स तरह दिखा रहा था कि मिडिल ऑफ अगस्त और यू कैन से टुवर्ड्स दैट मिडिल ऑफ द मानसून सीजन तक लानिना कंडीशन रह सकता है, इसके बाद एनसो न्यूट्रल कंडीशन आ सकता है, मगर अभी जो लेटेस्ट इंफॉर्मेशन सभी मॉडल से आ रहे हैं कि लानिना कंडीशंस कंटिन्यू कर सकता है थ्रू आउट द मानसून सीजन। और नेगेटिव आईओडी का बात करें, ये सर्टेनली नेगेटिव आईओडी इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल जो नेगेटिव होता है तो ये एक बाधक साजता है, और इसलिए ज्यादा एक्सेस नहीं होते हुए इस नॉर्मल रेंज के अंदर हमारा फोरकास्ट जा रहे हैं। और कल की जो थंडरस्टॉर्म की बात किया जाए तो थंडरस्टॉर्म जो कल हुआ है इसका पूर्वानुमान दिया गया था, आप देखेंगे कल का बुलेटिन आप देखेंगे तो हम पूर्वानुमान किए थे कि ये नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया में, जैसे स्टार्टिंग विद पंजाब, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली, वेस्ट यूपी, सभी जगह में हम थंडरस्टॉर्म का अर्ली वार्निंग दिए थे। और रडार की बात करें, सभी रडार काम कर रहा था, और रडार के हिसाब से 3:30 पर हम नाउकास्ट इशू किए थे कि थंडरस्टॉर्म होगा, 50 to 60 किलोमीटर विंड स्पीड हो सकता है, और कंटिन्यूसली इसके बाद अपडेट दिया जा रहा था, और सभी मीडिया ग्रुप के साथ साथ सभी को व्हाट्सएप में भी मैसेज दिया गया है।
So only 2 hours in advance it was possible to anticipate.
Yeah, thunderstorm is a mesoscale event. Thunderstorm, hailstorm, lightning, इसको 5 दिन पहले पूर्वानुमान करना मुश्किल है दुनिया भर में, सिर्फ इंडिया में नहीं, कहाँ ऐसे नहीं होता है। इसलिए नाव का सबसे बड़ा हथियार बोलिए कि टूल बोलिए होता है, जिसमें आप 2 घंटा 3 घंटा पहले आप बता सकते हैं कि ऐसे एक संभावना है। और इसका जो पोटेंशियल एरिया है, वो पोटेंशियल एरिया हम आइडेंटिफाई किए थे, सुबह जो फोरकास्ट हम दिए थे इसमें आइडेंटिफाई किया गया था कि एक एरिया है जिस एरिया में आपका थंडरस्टॉर्म ऐसे हो सकता है।
थैंक यू
सर जी, बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ बोलिए अनुज जी।
जी सर, एक तो हम ये जानना चाह रहे थे कि मानसून अब आगे बढ़ रहा है धीरे धीरे, तो देश के बाकी हिस्सों में पर्टिकुलरली सेंट्रल इंडिया और नॉर्थ वेस्ट तक, मतलब पंजाब, दिल्ली, यूपी, राजस्थान, एमपी, छत्तीसगढ़,
थैंक यू वेरी मच अनुज जी।
उसके कब से बताया कि कैसी बारिश रहेगी जून में और टेम्परेचर भी, लेकिन हम जानना चाह रहे थे कि अगर हम इन्हीं राज्यों में राज्यवार अगर आप बता पाए कि कैसी बारिश रहेगी जून में।
पूरा इंडिया का मैप दिखा दिया अनिरुद्ध जी, हम जो पूरा इंडिया का मैप दिखाई दिया, इसमें इंडिया का मैप में पूरे राज्य भी दिखाई दे रहे हैं, कौन सा राज्य में कैसे बारिश रहेगा वो भी दिखाई दे रहा है, ठीक है ना। सो इसमें हम प्रोबेबिलिटी में बता रहे हैं कुछ से राज्य में कैसे बारिश रहेगा, कहाँ एबोव रेनफॉल होगा, कहाँ बिलो नॉर्मल रेनफॉल होगा, कहाँ नॉर्मल रेनफॉल रहेगा। और ये हम जो देखे हैं, जो जैसे मई महीना का फोरकास्ट दिखाया, पहले भी हर महीने हम आपको फोरकास्ट का वेरिएशन दिखा रहे हैं, वे लार्ज एक्सटेंट जो मंथली फोरकास्ट, सीजनल फोरकास्ट जा रहे हैं, वो अच्छा से प्रेडिक्ट हो रहा है ये मल्टी मॉडल एनसेम्बल फोरकास्ट स्कीम के साथ। और जब मानसून एडवांस की बात करें, मानसून एडवांस के लिए हम अगले 5 दिन में कितना एडवांस होगा इसका पूर्वानुमान देते हैं, और अभी हम सिर्फ केरला को छोड़ के दूसरा जगह में ऐसे 15 दिन 20 दिन का फोरकास्ट नहीं देते हैं। अभी जो सेंट्रल इंडिया का बात करें, सेंट्रल इंडिया में लगभग 10 तारीख से 15 तारीख के अंदर सेंट्रल इंडिया के पास मानसून पहुंचता है, और ये बहुत दूर है। अभी हम नेक्स्ट 5 डेज का जो फोरकास्ट दिए हैं, ये फोरकास्ट के हिसाब से नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स, साउथ वेस्ट बंगाल, सिक्किम और यहाँ कोंकण एरिया की कुछ हिस्से, केरला के कुछ हिस्से में मानसून आगे बढ़ सकता है।
आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है, अपने माइक्रोफोन म्यूट करें, माइक्रोफोन म्यूट करें प्लीज। थैंक यू।
Can you hear me, sir? Rekha from the week.
रेखा जी, please.
Sir, this year again you have said that there are chances of below normal rain in the northeast. Now, this has been a phenomenon for the last at least 4 or 5 years. In fact, one of your papers on monsoon had also noted that, the changing patterns of monsoon distribution across the country, and showed that northeast is getting lesser rain than it was getting earlier. Could you explain what is leading to this? Is it weather change, or is it climate change, or it is just like changing weather phenomenon, or deforestation, or what exactly is it?
नहीं, जो ट्रेंड है नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में, तो रेनफॉल डिक्रीज हो रहा है।
आप देखिए सेक्टोरल पार्टिसिपेशन बढ़ रहा है, और कल एक ही सेक्टर सुस्त था, वो थे मेटल्स, और आज मेटल्स में बढ़िया एक्शन बन रहा है। जय, सुबह हम JSW स्टील, टाटा स्टील की बात कर रहे थे, एक्शन में अभी एक अच्छा स्पाइक आया। जय, जरा वेदांता के चार्ट देखिए, और अब यहाँ से क्या करना है वेदांता में।
जी बिजनेस,
मैं रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज स्विच ऑफ योर माइक।
इनफैक्ट ये मेरा एक रेकमेंड, इफ यू डोंट माइंड, मैं इसे रेकमेंड भी कर ही दूंगी साथ ही साथ।
भाई यहाँ से जी बिजनेस को बंद कर दीजिए।
सर, अगर नहीं बंद कर रहे हैं तो उनको ग्रुप से निकाल दीजिए, तो
निकाल दीजिए ना, जी बिजनेस को निकाल दीजिए, निकाल दो ना, सभी को ऑफ करो, सभी को जो क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं मैं नाम बताऊंगा, इसलिए ऑन करना है। ठीक है, सो रेखा जी, आई विल जस्ट आई वांटेड टू से दैट yes, certainly there is a trend that rainfall over northeast states are showing a decreasing trend. मगर इस बार का जो पूर्वानुमान है, जो आप देखेंगे कि सीजनल रेनफॉल का जो पूर्वानुमान है, इस हिसाब से जो असम है, अरुणाचल प्रदेश है, नागालैंड है, इस सभी एरिया में हम ग्रीन या ब्लू का शेडिंग दिखाया। पार्ट है मिजोरम।
Sir, your volume is reduced, sir. Not audible. DGM, sir.
एक मिनट देख रहे हैं।
Yeah.
It's fine now.
Yeah, sir. Little
But
more.
it's still quite low.
Voice is quite low than earlier.
Right. अभी कैसे आ रहा है?
Yes, sir. It is okay now.
This is better.
Okay. So मैं ही बोलना चाहता हूँ कि नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स का जो रेनफॉल का ट्रेंड है, वो दिखाते हैं कि देयर इज अ डिक्रीजिंग ट्रेंड इन रिसेंट ईयर्स, बट हाउएवर इट डजंट मीन दैट एवरी ईयर देयर विल डिक्रीज, एंड दिस ईयर व्हाटएवर फोरकास्ट वी हैव इशूड, द नॉर्दर्न पार्ट्स ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट्स लाइक असम, अरुणाचल प्रदेश, नागालैंड, इस सभी एरिया में वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग नॉर्मल टू अबव नॉर्मल रेनफॉल एक्टिविटी। Southern parts of northern states like मिजोरम, त्रिपुरा और मणिपुर, वहाँ ज्यादा पॉसिबिलिटी है कि रेनफॉल नॉर्मल से कम हो सकता है। It needs study what are the processes which is leading to the decreasing trend in rainfall activity, and but it is a finding from the long-term data analysis by IMD that there is a detection. It is detected that there is a decreasing trend of rainfall over northeastern states. The attribution to causes needs the special analysis.
Sir, this is Meenakshi.
Yes, please, madam. Yeah.
Wanted to ask, the normal rainfall has also been reduced from 868.6 millimeter to 880.6. So is this indication that the rainfall activity overall as in the entire country is decreasing?
This point I addressed during the first stage of monsoon forecast when we also introduced the new normal. The new normal based on data of 1971 to 2020 leads to the new figure, that is 868.6, or you can say it is 87 centimeter. Earlier, based on normal of 1961 to 2010, it was about 88 centimeter. So there is a decrease of about 1 centimeter rainfall for the country as a whole. If I compare the normal rainfall of 1961 to 2010 with 1971 to 2020. But I also explained at that time that the decadal behavior of the monsoon rainfall, if we analyze, what we find that there is a epochal behavior. Epochal behavior means there will be certain decades consecutively where you can expect above normal rainfall. It will be followed by certain decades, like 3 to 4 decades, where it will be below normal rainfall. And since 1970 onwards, we are passing through a below normal epoch. And that below normal epoch period led to slight decrease in normal rainfall, slight 88 centimeter to 87 centimeter. But the good thing is that we are now moving out of that below normal epoch. It is almost nearing. If you just compare the past 2 decades, you will find that it is nearing towards normal. And your prediction is that by 21 to 30, it will be near normal, and 31 to 40 decade, it will be above normal rainfall activity.
So good afternoon. This is Anjali from the Indian Express, Pune. Am I audible?
Yes, please, Anjali.
Yes. I want to
There is a sorry, Anjali. There is a disturbance from one Srishti. Yeah. Thank you. Go, Anjali. Anjali, go ahead.
Yes. Can you enlist the possible reasons for below normal or rainfall over Kerala, Karnataka in early June, as you mentioned?
Usually, what happens, the monsoon advance over the southern states gets more activated if you have some kind of offshore vortex. That means formation of a low pressure system or cyclonic circulation, and sometimes also you get cyclones during onset phase of monsoon, which leads to excess rainfall activity over the west coast states like Kerala, coastal Karnataka, Konkan, and Goa. So the rainfall pattern itself and the latest analysis of to say next 15 days indicates that there is no such probability of development of any low pressure systems as an offshore vortex near the west coast of India. That could be one of the most important reasons why we are not getting good rainfall. We are not expecting good rainfall activity over the extreme South Peninsula during the month of June. Another feature is that if there will be a low pressure system over northwest Bay of Bengal near Odisha coast, that will also lead to increase in rainfall activity over Kerala coast. Because of the formation of low pressure system, the cross equatorial westerlies strengthen, and because of the interaction with the westerlies with the orography due to Western Ghats, rainfall increases. Perhaps it could be associated with the absence of the low pressure systems as an offshore vortex or as a low pressure systems overhead Bay of Bengal.
Right. Thank you, sir.
But however, if we look at our extended range forecast, you will find that after 2 weeks, that is towards the second half of June, rainfall activity is increasing. We can also expect some development. We have to wait for that.
Sir, Jayashree from Hindustan Times. I wanted to ask the reason you have increased the forecast, the quantum of rainfall from 99% to 103%, is it mainly because of La Nina conditions continuing through monsoon? Could you explain that, sir, please?
Yeah, that's what I already explained, that La Nina conditions is expected to continue throughout the monsoon season. That is the number one. And number two is that nowadays we are dependent upon the dynamical forecasting system, where there are many dynamics within the ocean, atmosphere, and earth system which may not be visible to the naked eye or human eye or day-to-day analysis, and perhaps that could be picked up. And what we found that this MME system has picked up very well the regionally the spatial distribution of rainfall. So main dynamical large-scale feature, if you tell me, that is the La Nina conditions it is constituting, but other statistical parameters which are utilized in the statistical prediction system that are also favorable. For example, the temperature, sea surface temperature over North Atlantic, or you can consider the temperature over the equatorial Pacific, or if you consider the northern hemispheric surface air temperatures, or if you consider the mean sea level pressure over the Pacific, all these are favorable for increased rainfall activity. Therefore, the number has been changed. The number of parameters in April forecast, if I compare with the number of parameters in this forecast, the number of parameters are becoming more favorable in this updated forecast. Pallav sir, thank you. You are muted.
Sir,
Pallav
your
ji,
mic is mute, sir. Sir, your mic is mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now it is clear.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Mohapatra, for giving us some good news that the monsoon may be normal. I had a more general question. If you were to increase the accuracy of your monsoon forecasting, what more would you want from the government? Do you want more satellites? Do you want more sea surface buoys? What more do you want, sir? Suppose we were to give more accurate forecast, or do you want an extension of the monsoon mission?
Yeah, certainly. Thank you very much, Pallavji. So certainly there has been a good progress with the help of the monsoon mission. We have come up with the dynamical coupled forecast system. As you correctly told, that monsoon basically depends upon many features in globally and also regionally and locally. As far as the short to medium range forecast is concerned, there has been significant improvement in predicting the heavy rainfall and associated weather during monsoon season, but still there is scope to improve. And there, for that purpose, we need enhancement of observational systems regionally, that is over the Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, and Indian landmass, and southern parts of the Indian Ocean also. But when you consider the long-range forecast, the long-range forecast depends upon the large-scale parameters governing from different parts of the globe, especially over the Pacific and Atlantic, and also the other regions. So globally, the number of observations are increasing, and we perhaps cannot afford to increase the global observations. We can afford to increase the observations through satellite. Yes, certainly the satellite augmentation with more calibrated, accurate information, which can go directly to the modeling system, can help to assimilate correctly the oceanic processes, which is the data sparse region. Basically, if you just look at, these are the oceanic features which have the more memory, and hence helps in providing the long lead period in the forecast of the system. So towards that, Minister Parsons is working in that directions, and monsoon mission phase 3 is also being taken up, and high performance computing system is also being taken up, where you can assimilate more data, process data, and process study will also be carried out. Specific spatial study will be carried out in a dedicated place like Bhopal in the central India, which is the monsoon core zone. Certainly we are addressing that, and there is need to augment, as you told, the observational systems, mainly through the remote and satellites, and in situ observations through buoys and ships wherever possible. There is need to augment the high performance computing system. There is need to augment our observational systems in terms of the coupled forecasting systems, forecasting system in terms of coupled forecasting system. And I hope certainly there is scope to improve the long range forecast.
Can I ask a follow-up question, sir?
Yes, please.
The delay in the OceanSat, has it affected your forecasting prognosis?
No, as such, because basically in OceanSat will be depending upon the winds and to some extent the observations. But what we do actually globally, we utilize all types of polar orbiting satellites and geostationary satellites available throughout the globe. There is a consortium, and there is free exchange of data. All data goes through that, and that are being utilized. I don't think that it has affected in prediction of the monsoon seasonal forecast because of the delay in OceanSat.
Thank you, sir.
सर मयूरेश बोल रहा हूँ।
मयूरेश जी,
हाँ, अभी 1 साल हुआ आपका मंथली जो फोरकास्ट आप दे रहे हैं उसमें, तो उसका इवैल्यूएशन किया गया है, कितना सक्सेस रेट है उसके बारे में?
Yeah, quantitative evaluation we are doing. I think sometimes I will show the quantitative evaluation, but certainly every month I am projecting you the actual and forecast.
और ये जो अभी बात चल रही है कि मॉनसून का बहुत लोग अभी कह रहे हैं कि केरल में मॉनसून आ जाया है, कई लोगों ने बताया कि अभी तक आया ही नहीं, तो इसके बारे में बहुत सारी न्यूज भी आई है, तो उस पर आपका क्या कहना है?
नहीं, हम तो प्रेस रिलीज जारी किए हैं, आप कल का प्रेस रिलीज देख लीजिए परसों का, इसमें हम डिटेल्स दिए हैं क्या क्या कंडीशन है और क्या क्या कंडीशन सेटिस्फाइड हुए हैं. There was fairly widespread rainfall activity before the advance of monsoon over Kerala. On the day when advanced monsoon occurred, there was more than 70% of stations reported rainfall. 2 stations reported very heavy rainfall out of their 14 stations. So there was widespread rainfall activity. The monsoon is not measured only by the rainfall, it is also measured by the depth of westerly winds, that is cross-equatorial winds. The cross-equatorial winds were extending up to a height of 4.5 to 5 kilometers above the mean sea level. And so the wind speed at a height of about 1 kilometer was about 15 to 20 nautical miles per hour. That means 25 to 35 kilometers per hour. And outgoing long-wave radiation, which is a measure of the cloudiness, that is also less than 200 watt per meter square. When it is less than 200 watt per meter square, that indicates there are convective clouds. You can look at the satellite picture also. You can find out the convective clouds. And you can see that how the rainfall is progressive. So today we have taken off to Karnataka and northern parts of Tamil Nadu because rainfall has progressed. So therefore, we follow a scientific basis, and based on the scientific basis, monsoon advance and onset are declared.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
सर माई सेल्फ शिवम कुमार. सर मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि आपके मैप में जो दिखाया है कि असम, अरुणाचल और सिक्किम में एबो नॉर्मल रेनफॉल होगा, और लेकिन मेघालय में डेफिशिएंट दिखाया सर, जबकि सब जगह ब्रेक कंडीशन से एक साथ अच्छी रेन होती है वहाँ पे.
जी, आपने जो बोला है वो सही बात बताया कि हम आज जो फोरकास्ट जारी किए हैं इसमें सिक्किम, सदर्न वेस्ट बंगाल, अरुणाचल प्रदेश और असम में नॉर्मल से एबो नॉर्मल रेनफॉल हो सकता है और मेघालय में डेफिशिएंट रेनफॉल हो सकता है. Okay. So any other comments or questions? Anubji, do you have any other question? You raise your hand.
I have one more question, Jacob.
Okay.
So Jacob, I have one more question.
Yes, please, Jacob.
If your forecast comes right, I think this will be 4 consecutive years of normal or above normal rainfall. Now, isn't that kind of unprecedented in IMD's at least for a really long time? Is it an unusual kind of system? And secondly, all other years recent years we've been seeing heavy rainfall in September. September makes up a lot of deficit, in previous months. So is something like that also expected this year? Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, Jacob ji. Actually, for the month of September, we cannot predict now. We have to wait, and by the end of August, we will predict the rainfall for September. And yes, as you told that for last 2 years, we have seen that month of September gets a lot of rainfall, and whatever deficiency there, that gets covered up by the rainfall in September. That is a part of the temporal variability, or you can say the intra-seasonal variability. It varies from month to month and within the season itself, leading to dry spells and wet spells. And the first question was about
4 consecutive years of normal.
4 consecutive years. Yes, as I was telling, the decadal variability of the monsoon rainfall, if you just look at the below normal decadal epoch, is almost going to end, and there is some kind of emergence towards the normal behavior during the running decade, and the next decade it will move to the above normal rainfall. So therefore, there is a tendency now that we can have the normal or above normal rainfall year sometimes consecutively when you are moving towards the normal epoch or the above normal epoch. But that is just my qualitative analysis. I cannot tell you correctly why it is consecutively 4 years.
Sir, this is Sandeep Das from Financial Express.
Yes, please, Sandeep ji.
Can you, now that long period average has been recalibrated or whatever, but what is the percentage, can you give us, like June will be how much percent of total rainfall? Because that has to also again rework essentially. June July, August, September, roughly what will be the percentage wise rainfall of a monsoon?
See, earlier scheme when we were introducing that time we gave a percentage, but from last year onwards we have stopped giving that percentage for the monthly figure. We are giving only 3 categories, whether it will be normal, whether it will be above normal, or whether it will be below normal. And this year we are telling that it will be normal for June. And when I say normal, it is 92% to 108% of the long period average. And long period average is 165 millimeters.
My question is quantum of rain.
That's what I told you. The quantum of rain will be between 92% to 108% of the long period average. A long period average value is 165 millimeters. So you can calculate or we can calculate and tell you. Okay.
This is Bappa here. Sir, I have a question. Like the way we are giving the forecast for month of June, can it be given for the next few months? Like what would be the rainfall in July, August, and September? The reason being I'm asking is when we saw like the crops are like whenever there is a crop maturity, and if there is a heavy rainfall, so farmers can't actually predict that thing. So if you give us that forecast, it would be really good. They can plan accordingly.
Yeah, thank you, Bapaji. So your point is genuine. We also understand that. We are trying that. But at present, that type of accuracy is not there. If I tell you now the rainfall for the month of July, August, and September, it may not be accurate and it may misguide. So therefore, so unless otherwise it is a reasonably accurate forecast, I think we should not give. So they were trying that, and your suggestion is well taken. We will try. Perhaps time will come within 2 to 3 years. I'm not sure when we will bring off the forecast for July, August, September while issuing for the second stage forecast. Let us hope.
सर निवेदिता बोल रही हूँ.
Yes, madam.
जो आपका सबसे पहला स्लाइड का समरी ऑफ फोरकास्ट, there's this distinction about 4 seasonal homogeneous regions where you have said normal over Northeast India and Northwest India, but the percentage that you have given for Northeast India is 96 to 106 and Northwest it is 92 to 108. Can you explain what is the difference between that?
The normal is calculated based on the long period average data of the particular homogeneous region. So if we just look at, as you told, Northeast India normal is 94 to 106 and Northwest India is 92 to 108. That means that the Northeast India rainfall is less variable and Northwest India rainfall is more variable. That means year to year, if you compare, the interannual variation of rainfall for Northwest India is high and Northeast India is less. Therefore, the variation is only 6% in case of Northeast India, whereas it is 8% in case of Northwest India. That all of us know that in the region where you have got higher rainfall, consistent rainfall, your variation will be less. And Northeast India gets higher rainfall and consistently. So therefore, variation is less, 6% as compared to 8% for Northwest India.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
This is Tom Vikas Mulya.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है.
चंद्रेश शेर.
चंद्रेश बोलिए प्लीज.
हेलो सर.
यस
सर, मैं पूछ रहा था जैसे हमारे नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया में इस बार मार्च में, अप्रैल में, मई में थोड़ी अब जाके बारिश हुई है. प्री मॉनसून एक्टिविटी बिल्कुल भी नहीं हुई. मार्च में देखने में एक बूंद नहीं पड़ी. अप्रैल में आज से 3 साल 4 साल पहले अच्छी बारिश होती थी. इसका मॉनसून पे कोई इफेक्ट आएगा, कम का या ज्यादा का सर?
मॉनसून तो एक लार्ज स्केल सर्कुलेशन है. इसको प्लानिटरी सर्कुलेशन आप बोल सकते हैं. जापान से शुरू करके अमेरिका तक मॉनसून सर्कुलेशन डेवलप होता है और इसलिए मॉनसून सर्कुलेशन बहुत सारे लार्ज स्केल पैटर्न पर डिपेंडेंट होता है. तो इसके साथ साथ रीजनल स्केल पैटर्न जैसे यूरो एशियन स्नो कवर और टेम्परेचर फॉर पैसिफिक वगैरह के ऊपर भी डिपेंडेंट होता है. Certainly, people in the initial stage assume that monsoon is a large sea breeze. That means ज़्यादा आपका हीटिंग होगा नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया और हिमालयन के ऊपर ज़्यादा हीटिंग होगा तो आपका मानसून स्ट्रॉन्गर होगा. Certainly, यूरेशियन स्नो कवर के साथ there is a inverse relationship. अगर ऐसे कोई 1-to-1 रिलेशनशिप नहीं है कि आपका टेम्परेचर मार्च अप्रैल में ज्यादा होने से नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया में आपका रेनफॉल ज्यादा होगा. और फिर भी जो प्रेडिक्शन है इस बार, ये प्रेडिक्शन के हिसाब से साउथ वेस्ट मानसून रेनफॉल जो है नॉर्मल रहने का उम्मीद किया जा रहा है और जून महीना में भी लगभग मेनी प्लेसेस में नॉर्मल रेनफॉल हो सकता है नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया में.
ओके, थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू. ओके
सर, अनिरुद्ध बोल रहा हूँ एक बार फिर से छोटा सा.
चलिए अनिरुद्ध जी.
सर, ये जो इस बार लगातार चौथा साल है नॉर्मल और एबव नॉर्मल बारिश का, हम इसमें ये जानना चाह रहे थे कि इससे पहले कितनी बार का ऐसा रिकॉर्ड है कि 4 साल या उससे ज्यादा साल लगातार नॉर्मल या एबव नॉर्मल बारिश हुई जो आपके पास रिकॉर्ड हो 1901 से क्या तक?
रेडीमेड स्टैटिस्टिक्स मेरे पास नहीं है. मैं अभी हमारे कलीग अवेलेबल है डॉक्टर श्रीजीत एंड जनामणि. They will find out the statistics and they will put up in the media book.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, this is Anjali again from the Indian Express. It's not about the monsoon, but do you have an overall analysis of how the pre-monsoon season and the summers have been since March, as the season ends today, May 31st? Any overall analysis that IMD would have and would be releasing?
Today I have shown you the month of May. And we will every month we are publishing a monthly report, and that will also published for the month of May, and also a seasonal report we will bring out. Within 2 to 3 days we will bring out this report.
Yes, thank you.
I think I must thank all of you and express my gratitude to all my press and electronic media friends for their cooperation and support for providing all these continuous services. Without you, we cannot reach out to the last mile. Without you, we cannot reach out to disaster managers. So therefore, the special thanks to all of you. We'll meet again by end of June to provide you the forecast for July. Thank you very much.
Hello. Hello, sir.
चलिए.
हाँ सर, मेरा नाम शुभम विकास मंडल है.
बीकानेर बना रहा है क्या?
मेरा आपसे पहला एक क्वेश्चन है.
बीकानेर मत बनाना, सीसी वाला जो है.
शुभम जी बोलिए. शुभम जी बोलिए.
सर, मेरा एक पहला क्वेश्चन है, ये जो महाराष्ट्र में जो मानसून आ रहा है, मतलब मैं भी बहुत दिनों से मॉनिटर कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन ये आज ऑब्जर्व किया कि आज लाइट रेनफॉल हुआ है, लेकिन ये 5 जून को क्यों एक्सपेक्ट किया जा रहा है?
अभी हम महाराष्ट्र के सभी हिस्सा के लिए फोरकास्ट नहीं दिए हैं. अभी जो हम फोरकास्ट जारी किए हैं इसमें बोले हैं कि कोंकण गोवा के कुछ हिस्से में मानसून आ सकता है ड्यूरिंग नेक्स्ट 2 to 3 days में, और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में आ सकता है, कर्नाटक कुछ हिस्सा में आ सकता है, और महाराष्ट्र में कब आएगा और बॉम्बे में कब पहुंचेगा इसका पूर्वानुमान हम बाद में जारी करेंगे.
ओके सर. सर, मेरा एक सजेशन है IMD के लिए.
बोलिए.
सर, ये जो आपने आज जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस रीऑर्गेनाइज किए, तो आने वाले समय में एंड ऑफ जून में भी आप जारी करेंगे?
हर महीने कर रहे हैं.
हर महीने?
यस, हर महीने कर रहे हैं. लास्ट 1 year or 1.5 year whatever you say, लास्ट हर महीने कर रहे हैं, हर महीने करेंगे. ठीक है
सर. वैसे तो मैं एक स्टूडेंट हूँ, मैं भी एक मीटरोलॉजिस्ट बनना चाहता हूँ.
वेरी गुड, ऑल द बेस्ट. ऑल द बेस्ट.
सर, आपको याद होगा कि मैंने आपको ईमेल किया था.
ठीक है. सो अभी ये प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है, बहुत सारे मीडिया भाई और बहनें प्रेजेंट है. लेट अस डिस्कस इन ब्रॉड अबाउट द मानसून एंड फोरकास्ट. So once again, I thank all of you for your cooperation and support for everything. We'll meet again by end of June. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
सर मेरे 2 सवाल थे जी।
थैंक यू सर।
हेलो।
थैंक यू।
हेलो।